Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Cabinet Vision Guy. In today's episode we're going to continue our series on JavaScript and we're going to finish off our little mini-series on Advanced Assembly Shaping and take a look at the rest of our UCS. If you haven't seen the other two episodes, I'll put a link in the description, but you'll want to go watch those first before watching this one, obviously. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head up and I'm going to head into my UCS. In the previous UCS, we started off obviously going through the different attributes that are applied to allow us to control the shape that we're creating, as well as resetting the shape once we don't want to apply a shape to our assembly, and resetting the side type as well. So today we're going to look through the rest of the logic in the UCS of how we build up some of the special shapes in here. So the first thing that we're doing in this section is we're checking if the side type is not 0. So 0 being a reset for our shape, and if we have a look here, we'll see if side type is 0, then we can perform a reset. So the first thing that we do is, again, check if it's not 0. We then perform a switch for the shape plane. So this is plane 1 for face view, plane 2 for plan view, and plane 3 for end view. So we've got 3 different planes that we can shape the assembly from. The next thing that we do is we switch the shape type, and then this allows us to essentially build up the different shapes of the assembly. So we start off with doing the front angled left, and we've got a variable here that allows us to define the distance on this side. You'll see for each shape I've drawn a very crude sketch within the UCS just to let you know the shape that we're creating. So again, the first thing that we do is we get the vertical measurement, which helps us define the shape. The next thing that we do is we take a snapshot of the shape data that we're creating. And we do this to prevent us actually applying the shape twice during a rebuild of the assembly. So what we do is we take the shape type, the shape plane, and the vertical, and then we save this into a parameter, and we use this to check against. So we've got stored shape data, and we check that that is not equal to the current shape data. That way, this will only update if we modify this attribute or we change plane, for instance. The drawing of the shape itself is really simple. So we've got the new assembly shape object, which is defined above. And we start off at 0, 0, which is at the bottom left-hand side of the assembly. And the first thing that we draw is the width of the assembly. So we go for the cab.dx. And then with the next line, we take that from the cab.dx in x, and we go from 0 to cab.dy, which is obviously the right side. And then what we do is we draw from the cab.dx and cab.dy to 0 and a vertical, which is essentially our size for this side here. So we draw the angled part down here. And then at that point, we go from 0 in x and just draw from vertical down to 0, and that creates our angled shape. The next thing that we do is we set the side type. So starting off at 0, we have 0 here, 1, and then 2, and we just make sure that that side type is set to be a top. And then we do this dot set shape, use the shape axis that we've got selected, and use our new assembly shape to apply our nice shape. The next thing that we do in this section is we just remove a few of the different attributes for the other shapes for notching and whether we've got a curved shape or not, just to ensure that if we do have those as attributes or we've set those previously, they're going to be removed. And these just call some functions that we've got up at the top of the UCS for removing different attributes under different circumstances. The next shape that we create is, again, very, very similar. This has the angle on the right hand side, and again we've got the same attributes, the a vertical, we've got the same shape data, and we've got the same check in place here. And then for this shape, obviously we start off again at 0, 0, and we draw the width of the assembly. And at that point, instead of drawing the full height like we would do if it's angled from this side, we draw up to the point of a vertical, so it draws across and then up first. And then from here it draws from the width of the assembly, an a vertical, up to 0 and the cab.dy, so it draws essentially up here to this point, and then with the last line this is going to draw back down right to 0, 0 again. Again, we set this side type, which again we set in the side type number 2, so that's 0, 1, and then 2 being the angled part, which is our top. And then again we do a this.set shape using the shape axis and the new assembly shape. And again we've got a repeated section in here just calling a few different functions to remove the attributes in case they're being set in a different section down here. So the next shape that we're creating is the partial angle left, or the shape type set to being 3. And for this one, we've got two variables. We've got a vertical distance, just like we had before, but we've also got a horizontal distance as well, so we can define the left-hand side and the top here. And again, we pick up the shape data. This time we add the vertical and the horizontal as well. And again, we check against this to make sure it doesn't match the shape data, the stored shape data, before we go redrawing the assembly shape. So for this one, again, we start off at 0, 0, bottom left-hand side. We draw across the bottom of the assembly, and then from there we draw right up to the top of the assembly. And with this one, we draw from the width of the assembly to the width minus the horizontal value that we add in here. So it gives us this distance here. And then from here, we draw down to the vertical distance, which draws the angle for us. And then from there, with the last line of adding a line, we start off at 0, 0 in the X. We start off at the vertical distance in Y, and then draw back down to 0, completing the shape. On this side, we set two side types. We set 2 and 3, so 0, 1, 2, and 3, and we set them both to being a top. And then again, we apply the shape to the overall assembly shape. The next shape that we create is case number 4, or shape type number 4, and this is just a mirror image of essentially the angled left, so we're angling on the right hand side. So again, we have the same vertical and horizontal attributes to allow us to control the shape, and then we capture the shape data again and check against it down here, and then we redraw the shape. So we start off at 0, 0 again, and with new assembly shape.addLine, we draw the width of the assembly across the base. We then start off at the width of the assembly and then just draw to the vertical height in Y. And then from there we draw again from the width of the assembly, starting off at the vertical, and then we go to the horizontal, so we're drawing up in this direction and we draw up to the cab.dy height of the assembly. And then from there we start from the horizontal distance and we're maintaining the cab.dy in the Y, but we're drawing from the horizontal to 0 to just draw our small section across here. And then we're drawing from 0, 0 all the way back down, and again closing the shape. Again, with this, we set the two side types to being a top and then apply the shape and remove any attributes that we need to down there. So let's just go take a look at how that works. So if I close my UCS down, and I'm just going to head into elevation view, click on my assembly, and I'm going to choose shape side and I'm going to choose face. And then I'll just move this out a little bit so we can see. So if I pick angled left, you'll see that we've then got an angled left, and if I want to, I can specify a different height in here. And then I can do the same for angled right, and then I can choose my partial angle left and then partial angle right as well, and then modify any different distances that I want here. So if I specify 100 mm for this one and 1800 for this one, you'll see the shape modifies as I'm adjusting the variables on the left hand side. So if we just head back to our UCS, let's take a look at what we can apply from plan view. So if I just scroll all the way down, we'll see that that's lucky. We've got plan view here. So again, we're switching the shape type, and this is going to be shape type number 1, which is going to be a notch. So for this, we have a few different attributes. We've got the notch height and the notch width. I also have the notch position as well, but I've actually fixed this to be a specific height, but that could be a variable as well. And again, we capture in the shape data so we can check against it with our logic down here. And then we're building up our notched shape of our assembly down here. So there's a few more different lines to this because obviously we've got more sides to the assembly as we're building the notch. Now, when we're shaping through elevation, we use the cab.dx and the cab.dy to define the outside shape. And when we're shaping through plan view, we use the cab.dx and cab.dz because obviously we're looking down at the cabinet rather than looking face on at the assembly. So again, we start off at 0, 0 or closest to 0, 0, and then we draw with new assembly shape.addLine, and we draw to the depth of the assembly. So we draw the line down here as being the first side of the assembly. And then from there, we draw all the way across from the cab.dz all the way across to the cab.dx, which brings us across here. And then the next line moves back down, obviously. And then with this line here, what we do is we draw from the cab.dx to the notch position plus the notch height. And then from there, we then draw from the notch position plus notch height and 0, and essentially we trace around the inside shape of our notch with the next few lines. The last one again just brings us back down to 0 from our notch position all the way back down. And again with this one we're specifying a few different side types. So we're starting off at 0 because our side types start at 0. So we go 0, 1, 2, and then we've got 3, and then we've got 4, 5 and 6, which is our inside notch shape. We're defining these to be an unfinished back. Again, we're doing this dot set shape to apply the new shape that we've built in this section here, and then we obviously apply that to the assembly. The next shape that we can define from plan view is just a simple D shape, so we're applying a curve to the face of the assembly. So for this we have a curve offset, which is essentially how far back we're going to set the sides when we apply a curve. And again we're capturing the shape data and checking that down here. And then for this one, again, we start off by adding a line and moving that to the DZ. With the drawing here, it's actually rotated around 90 degrees. So we draw this 0, 0, and then draw to the depth of the assembly. And then instead of using new assembly shape.addLine, we do new assembly shape.addArc 3 point. And this allows us to define the start, mid, and end positions of the arc. So it makes it nice and simple for us. So again, we start off with the depth of the cabinet. We then move to the width of the cabinet divided by 2. And for the curve point itself, we do the depth of the cabinet just plus the curve offset. And then for the last point, we just go to the width of the cabinet and the depth. So essentially it starts here, then we add the point here and the point up at the end here. The last two lines is we start and go from the depth of the cabinet down here. So we start off at the width and the depth going back to 0, and then we come all the way back down to close our shape again and then apply the shape. The last option that we've got from plan view is very similar to this one, apart from we can curve the back and the face of the assembly here. So again, we've got a curve offset, but instead of having a add line and add arc 3 point, we've got another one down here. So again, we start off at 0, 0 and draw the depth of the assembly. Then we draw to the midpoint of the curve and to the end, move back down with add line, and then another add arc 3 point to curve the back of the assembly. And again, these are similar. The only difference is the depth of the line itself. And then again, we do this dot set shape and apply the shape. So let's take a look and see at those effects on plan view. If I just close my UCS down, what I'm going to do is click on my assembly again, and I'll do this from plan view so we can see. And I'm going to switch from a face to plan view. And from here, I'm going to start off with the D front and just add in the size of our curve here. And then from here, we can go from D front to D front and back, which will then add the curve in at the back as well. And then the last one is the notch option that we've got. And we'll specify a notch height and a notch width in here as well. And then we'll create our notch shape. And if we just head down to assembly level and into 3D, you'll see that we've got our nice notch shape in there with our correct side set for the back. So the last option that we've got in our advanced shaping UCS is to be able to shape from our side view, so shape the side of the assembly. So if I head back into our UCS and head down to the bottom, it's the last option that we've got. There we go, we're choosing the side type 3, which is the end view. And the first option that we've got here for shape type is a notch. So as well as being able to notch from plan view, we can notch from end view as well. Now I'm not going to take you through the shaping from the end view line by line, really because it's just a repeat of what we've done from plan view and face view. The main differences though are, instead of using the assembly DX and DZ like we would do for the plan view, or the DX and DY like we do for the elevation, for the side view we use the DY and DZ when we're defining the shape. We also start down 0, 0, which is that down at the bottom back of the assembly here, and we begin drawing up and then draw around our notch and right up to the top and around the shape again. The next option that we've got is we can produce an angled end with the angle being at the front. For this one we've got obviously a vertical, just like we've got when we're shaping it from elevation view. And then the next option, we can choose to angled towards the back here. and specify obviously the vertical side here. And then the same, again, just like we've got with elevation view, with this one we can produce a partial angle where we come up to a certain point which is defined by the vertical, then we come across at the angle, and then we've got a horizontal line here to specify the side profile of the assembly. The last part of our UCS is we're just removing any attributes when we disable some of the shaping that's in here. So let's go and take a look at how shaping from end view looks with our UCS. So again, I'm going to go from plan view to end view, and then I'm going to choose my first option. I'm going to go with angled back, and you'll see we can specify a height in there for the vertical. And then if I want to, I can also specify angled front. I can do a partial angle back and specify a new size for this one too. Make it a little bit different, 400 and say 1800. And I can also specify if I want a notch. And then I can specify on this one, I think I can specify the notch height and also the notch width as well. And I'll make this a little bit deeper, or a little bit shallower, should I say. There we go. And that will obviously notch from the side view as well. I'm going to go and just check over this UCS before uploading it to the Nexus community. Feel free to give us a like, share and subscribe. We're also on Facebook, that's facebook.com/thecabinetvisionguy, and Instagram too, that's instagram.com/thecabinetvisionguy. Cheers!